And I'll let her introduce herself later, but she's going to be talking today around the area of how to lead as a woman without impersonating a man.
Or thereabouts.
Or thereabouts, yeah.
Actually, every one of us probably has a story. So if I tell you a little bit about my story, and then maybe some of the observations and things I've learned along the way, and we can chat about that. And you know, this is about not me talking to you, but having a conversation with you. Whistle stop as to how I got here. I'm half Peruvian, half Guyanese, or South American. Grew up with 3 brothers, basically had to fight to be heard. But growing up with no TV, all I had was my brother's comic books. So at a very, very early age, I was reading Supergirl and Wonder Woman. So I decided I was Superwoman, way before that phrase was termed over here in the UK. And unfortunately, I never heard of it, so I still think I'm a comic book hero. And that's sort of what I do with all of my life, and every challenge I've had along the way. I'm basically fearless, and I see opportunity everywhere. I'm a very positive sort of a person, and I think that's what I bring to the table. In the UK in the early 80s, I did my law degree, went to Lincoln's Inn, and was told, you should be a solicitor, because think about immigration law, think about doing employment. Courtroom's not really for a woman. Do you know you can't wear makeup in a courtroom? At this point, the backlash, I was so consumed by anger at that age, because remember I was fearless and I thought I could do anything, that I thought I'd take a year out, which is always a danger, because the minute you take a year out and you discover a whole other world, you never actually go back. And what I discovered is that I had, even at that age, I had strength that I couldn't understand why every other woman didn't have, which was that I could see clarity where other people were just seeing problems. I could see a solution. So I traveled for a year, ended up, long story, at BMW at the time when they were thinking of launching a fleet division into the UK, and couldn't quite figure out how to do it. Because it was a time when the brand was seen as expensive, every part of a car was an extra. And so I rolled in there and said, oh, but I can do it. Absolutely no experience in the industry. But I thought, actually, this is about the skills I have, communication skills. I can see from the manufacturer to distribution, I can see how this is going to create positive solutions for businesses. And so I set about working with them. 3 years later, we had BMW fleet in the UK. It was a time in the early 90s when life companies saw launching asset management businesses as cash cows. So I rolled up at LGIM, again, with a business card saying, I've launched a marketing agency and I can help you launch legal and general investment management. I was the only person pitching against 2 big marketing agencies. I got it. Because I didn't sell them the problems they had, I sold them solutions and clarity. And I didn't know the word at the time and really didn't put it into that sort of context, but it was about strategy, and that's what actually I was selling them. A strategy to get from where they were to where they wanted to be. And launched LGIM, then SocGen in the UK, actually in total 12 asset management companies in the UK. What I do in my leadership now is that I ask questions. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Anything I see anywhere that makes me feel uncomfortable and I don't understand, as I say, that makes me wriggle in my seat, I will ask a question about. And actually as a woman, you have an ability to do that in a different way. And in a way that might mean that you come up to the same conclusion as a man, but you will come to it in a different way. You know, women think in circles, men tend to think straight ahead. And you can do that, and actually, as a woman, you can ask more questions, because there are tricks in doing this. In a boardroom situation, in any situation, you can listen. Because men, they go in there and they straight away tend to want to move, dominate the room, prove a point, and they will talk. And actually, the best thing you can do is listen, because quite often they'll talk themselves into silence. And all you do is mark them down and come back at either one of them. They actually give you the ammunition you need to succeed. I think that trying to be like a man, trying to be successful and go for everything, trying to almost be impossible superwomen, means the collateral damage in that fight to be equal is significant. And I see around me women in mourning I see lots of women in mourning, either in mourning when they become mothers for the women they used to be before motherhood, or in mourning for the woman they thought they should be at a certain time in their lives. Women don't smile enough. I see it all around me. Women are unhappy, and that worries me. We're not smiling enough, we don't laugh enough, we're too serious. You know, this should be fun. Success should be fun. Feminism was supposed to be about equality, and that equality to me was supposed to be about joy. And I think we've lost that, and that's something I'd like to open up now. Sorry, whistle stop, but just wanted to sort of tell you my story and highlight some of the things that concern me.
Thank you very much, Gina. What we thought could be a good way of doing this is perhaps discuss it within your table, and then let's throw it open to Gina and asking her some questions. Let's try to.
We are the problem we are in. You can be able to write your lecture. I actually made that decision. So it has actually helped.
There's a view here that there's no reason why men of the next generations coming up wouldn't be able to some extent mirror that balance.
We talked about the book by Sheryl Sandberg, Leaning In. What do you think of her key concepts? One of the items on our card here is essentially being at the table and also having a voice at the table and the importance of that in your workforce to be a leader within your group.
Women are natural networkers, and we had a bit of a discussion around the word networking and whether we need to change it because it has become quite loaded, it's become quite negative.
Where's your boss? And I said, well, I am the boss. So this guy is his whole time trying to
address that Liz gave you, which is not the email address I have for you today.